Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We are back with the Ted Show. I am really excited. I'm kind of like a big fan of this guest here today. Michelle Jones is here with Violectric, and I can't wait for you to know what that is. And the 8th Annual Violectric Holiday Show is coming up. You don't want to miss out. I was blessed enough to see them perform when the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center opened many moons ago, and they are amazing. So you're getting a big treat here with Michelle Jones. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. You look good. You have a Krasnowski behind you. I think that is the art that is in your behind you. I love that artist. It's beautiful. But we're not here to talk about that. We want to learn about Michelle. So tell us a little bit about you before we take a deep dive into the holiday show.
Well, my name is Michelle. I play violin. No,
You're
seriously.
a violinist.
I do play violin and viola. So, no, in all honesty, I love music. I love playing music. It has been in my blood my entire life. I started, since before I was 3 years old because my mom started me very, very young. She was a symphonic violinist, but she also did other genres as well besides the classical realm. So it's been in my blood pretty much my entire life. And then, of course, when you go to college, all they want you to focus on is the classical. So Correct. Then after that, I said, I think I still want to do some of this other stuff. So I started doing some jazz and gospel and a lot of different styles. And of course, my heart just fell for rock. That rock and pop are just in my blood now, for sure. And that's what Violectric mostly does. We do mostly classic rock, as well as modern rock, modern pop, and other modern music like that. It's all instrumental. We do our own in-house arrangements between myself.
Wait, I thought you were singing today.
Oh, no. No, we're going to let the violin do that for me.
I am fine with that. I understand. You know what I love about, so when I was blessed enough to see the performance, what was great about it is it wasn't what I was expecting. Because if you think about it, if you take classic rock and you put violin, you think, how is that going to sound? It's going to be a nightmare. And it is anything but a nightmare. It's beautiful. It's energizing. I love the energy that comes with what you do. How do you pick songs and know how to make it sound like that? Describe the sound a little bit to them.
The sound of it is, instead of vocals, we use the instruments to be our vocals for us. For example, the violin is a nice higher range. The viola is great for like an alto range, and the cello is just perfect for that male and tenor range as well. So if you have a rock group, say Journey, for example, their lead singer is on the tenor side. So we like to put the melody either in the viola or the cello sometimes for that. But when it's like a female artist, such as Katy Perry, even though she's an alto, she does go sometimes high. So we go back and forth between violin and viola on that range. And that's how we break it out. And then all the other instruments, there's no guitars in our group. It's 2 violins, viola, cello, upright bass, keys, and drums. And the keys, of course, are synthesizers. So we can have a variety of sounds coming from that. Drums are drums. Then all the other parts have to get divided amongst the strings that are remaining who aren't the melody. And sometimes we're doing the melody and the accompaniment at the same time. So it's all in the arrangements. That's where the beauty and the magic happen. And then the best part that we love is we like to pick songs that people know already. For example, you probably know the words to Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm guessing.
I believe I do. I think all of us think we know the majority of them. We know some of them, yes.
And that's where we find that the song and the voice in your head really can't sing, because you're the one that fills in the lyrics on our behalf. And we love that when the audience sings along. But the best part is that we engage a part of your brain that if there was a real singer there singing all the lyrics, you're probably not going to be as engaged as when you are with us, because now we've triggered a new part of your brain that is putting in the lyrics for us. So now we've got your attention twice as much, and that's what makes it even more magical.
So tell us, educate us a little bit. And by educate us, I mean me. What is the difference between a violin, a cello, and a viola?
Okay. A violin looks like this. So it is 4 strings and it's got the higher range. And then the viola would be a little bit bigger than this, looks the same, played kind of the same way, but it has different strings. It has these 3 strings, the A, the D, and the G, and then it has one lower string, which is a C string. And so these 3 are exactly the same pitch as the violin. The cello is the one that you sit down to play where you have it between your legs. And it's the same 4 strings as the viola. It's just an octave lower because it's a bigger instrument. And then the upright bass is exactly the same as the violin, only mirror image with the strings. So that's what's
so fascinating to me, because I think people do hear I think a lot of us hear the violin, hear the viola, hear the cello, hear the bass. We just don't know what to call it. We can tell the differentiation, but we're not educated enough. When I was in college, I took one class I wanted to literally lose my mind on, but it was classical music. And it was the best class for me because it taught me some things I didn't know. Have I used them since? Only when I'm listening to something and I go, I think that's Bach. Or, oh my God, who is that? It's a fascinating education, but I think most of us are intimidated by learning, well, we don't want to sound stupid, so we're just going to say that's great music. When in reality, each musical instrument plays a very significant and different role in the entire ensemble that you guys are doing.
Yes, it does. And that's what we try to feature. We have in our holiday songs, we actually pass melodies around as well as in our regular arrangements too, where each of the instruments is featured. The keyboard is featured. Even the drums are featured. My goodness. The drums are definitely featured on Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train. So, oh yes.
The fact that you do Crazy Train is just awesome to me. That's the part that I think by you doing that, my opinion, as a just basic observer, is that if you do that, people are like, okay, I know that song. Oh, well, that's kind of cool how they arranged that. It exposes people to a side of classical music, an offshoot that they normally wouldn't necessarily be interested in. But because you do things like Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train, people are like, God bless it. Did they just do that in violins and violas and cellos and such? I love the concept. All right, so let's talk about the 8th Annual Violectric Holiday Show. Tell us about it.
It is a mouthful. You're right. Well, the City of Orlando Department of Families, Parks and Recreation, they are the ones that put on the show. But we have been very blessed for 8 years now that they've asked us to come and perform. And it's just us. It's just our show. And what we do is this year we're doing straight 90 minutes with no intermission. And a lot of that is because of the COVID restrictions and the COVID guidelines. They're only allowing 50% capacity in the theater, but then everyone can still social distance themselves out on the lawn or on the berm or anywhere around the theater is fine. And even around the entire lake. They're going to be simulcasting it on the audio system around the entire lake. And we're even talking about live streaming it. So we'll have a link ready on our violectric.net website. And we are accepting donations just for the Pet Alliance, not for us. We're fine. We are benefiting the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando. And so we'll have a link set up for donations so that people can donate to that. And if they come to the show, then of course the weather's going to be fabulous. We ask that you bring a blanket or something to sit on because those chairs get very hard, the ones that are there. Or if you're sitting on the ground, obviously, you want to sit on something. We ask them maybe donate that blanket or that towel on your way out to the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando.
Great. Yes. Pet Alliance is an amazing organization. So if y'all don't know about that, I believe I have them coming on the show in the next couple of days or week. But I will put the link when I reshare our show today and make sure that people know what the Pet Alliance is. So tell me, just from COVID, and Michelle is going to grace us with a little a little bit of a teaser. But tell me, COVID, so pandemic, you're a performer. How did you pivot during the pandemic? How have you kind of created a new path? Because you couldn't go out on stage for a very long time. So what did you do as an artist?
Honestly, a lot of it was staying at home. And some of our musicians did their own live streams, like they set them up and did those. I personally didn't choose to do that, but we did create our education program series online, which is also available at violectric.net and under YouTube under Violectric Music, which is a free educational resource. And we did that all summer long, where we had just a quick 5-minute lesson on something, whether it was how to how do you make a violin, what is inside it, and then we end with a little concert each time. So we do like a how it's made or how it's created, and then go into a quick little mini concert. And we did that throughout the summer, so that kept us busy. Other things that have happened is we've learned how to do more of the Zoom meetings and the virtual lessons and virtual concerts. We've done some virtual concerts for corporate events and shows. So it's been we've tried to keep busy that way, but nothing beats having the live audience. And that's why we are most excited about this Saturday at 7 p.m. at Lake Eola, where we get to mash up traditional holiday music with things that you may not recommend, but we do it anyway.
I love that. So it's at Lake Eola.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, 7 p.m. this Saturday. 7 p.m. Saturday. Yes.
All right, which I will put the link in the comments for the event as well. And I know Michelle will too. All right, so enough of me and my ugly mug. Let's see you and your pretty mug. And then please tell us what you're going to share with us. And I'm going to make the screen all yours, Michelle.
Well, speaking of Ozzy Osbourne and Crazy Train, what we like to do is we like to mash up Deck the Halls with that. I know what a favorite traditional Christmas song that's over 300 years old, mashed up with a song that's not even 50 years old. So
all right, I'm excited. All right, here we go. Michelle Jones with Violectric. I love it. That very last part, I know I'm uneducated and I want to learn more. It almost sounded like there were two instruments.
Yes, we call that double stops. And that's when you're playing two notes at the same time. And sometimes we play 3, sometimes we play 4. So it can get tricky. Like when we do a pizzicato, that was 4 notes all at the same time. Wow. That's the maximum we can do on our instruments because we only have 4 strings.
So I have the 4 strings.
However, at our holiday show, we're also going to be using what's like a combination of a violin and viola together. And all 3 of our 2 violins and violists are going to be playing those instruments, which is basically a 5-string violin. So all 3 of us are violin and violists for our holiday show this year. And that's new this year.
Beautiful. I loved it. I love everything about what you guys do. So I want everyone to go out. I want you to support Violectric, which is violectric.net, which is scrolling across the bottom. Michelle and I will both put the link just so you have it so you can attend the show, the 8th Annual Violectric Holiday Show, which is right at the amphitheater downtown Lake Eola. You don't want to miss out. It's so mesmerizing, the concert, in my opinion, and I love it. And it gets you in the spirit, but you almost feel like I just heard sort of a rock concert too. Like there's so much good stuff that you all do, and plus we're gonna, we're supporting the Pet Alliance. I mean, I don't know how more good things could come in one concert, but I want you all to sign up, support Michelle, support Violectric, and support Pet Alliance. Michelle, thank you so much for being on the show. You're a joy. I love what you do. So talented. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Oh, we appreciate it. Oh, and don't forget, bring your pets on Saturday. You could actually bring your pets to a rock concert on Saturday night. So
good answer. I forgot that part. Yes. So guys, listen, if it's for the Pet Alliance, you're going to be able to bring your pets. So bring your pets, enjoy the weather, enjoy the music, enjoy being outside instead of cooped up in our weird pandemic world we live in right now. And please go out and support Michelle Jones and Violectric and everything that she does. Michelle, you're a joy. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us. We'll see you Saturday.
All right. We'll see you Saturday, guys. Go out and support violectric.net. And if you need information, reach out to me or reach out to Michelle. We'll see you guys later. Have a